Good afternoon, VC. Dave here. Going to show some records today that I was able to pick up from the recent record convention here in Charlotte from last weekend. It was a little disappointing. A few of the vendors that are normally there did not come. One of them is from Atlanta, and he has a ton of soul and a ton of jazz. And I've bought from him every single time I've gone to these conventions, and the last one, he got halfway here and his car broke down. And if you're hauling vinyl, that's not something you want to have happen. So I think he's done making the trek from Atlanta to Charlotte, which it's not the shortest of drives. So I understand it, but I did find a few things, and I got a few new records as well to show here. So we'll jump in. The first, this is an amazing record. It's Idris Ackamoor and the Pyramids. An Angel Fell on Strut Records out of Germany. Just amazing artwork on this. And I guess it kind of reminds me of Bitches Brew as far as the artwork goes. This is a great soul jazz record. Idris Ackamoor is a great sax player. Just beautiful tone on this. This is recently released. And so at first it didn't seem like it was that available, but pretty sure your local shop can get this ordered for you, or you can get your hands on it on Discogs. Highly recommend this record. Going to be one of the best that's released this year for sure. Next record is from some guys out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. These guys have been compared quite a bit to the Jesus Lizard, which is a pretty fair comparison. Great band, great guys. If you don't know, name of my channel, Local Bandography, I film bands from time to time live. I've been doing it since 2000, so about 18 years. I've filmed a lot of bands all over the Southeast, all kinds of different venues. Stepped the game up a little bit recently. We've filmed with 9 cameras. Got to film these guys that are one of our local establishments here a few years back, Snug Harbor, and this band is called Buildings, and the name of this record is You Are Not One of Us, and this is from 2017 on Gilead Media. Badass band. And the bass player at the time when I filmed them, Ryan, is now the drummer for Local H. So they have a new bass player here, Travis on drums, Brian Lake on lead vocal and lead guitar. So just a 3-piece, just badass. Check these guys out whenever you get a chance. Their stuff's on YouTube. Next record, picked this up cheap locally, and this is Dexter Gordon, Sophisticated Giant. I believe this is on Columbia. It's a white label promo. It's a couple dollars. This was an interesting record. Has a big band feel to it, yet each of the tracks has some really great soloing. Obviously from Dexter Gordon, but usually somebody goes along for the ride with him, like Woody Shaw's on this, Bobby Hutcherson on Vibes. Really, really smooth record. You can find this in your dollar bins. Next record is one that Derek Higgins showed on the Facebook page, and I remember seeing our local guys, our the Digger's Delight at Tip Top had a copy of this, and so I went and grabbed it. It was like $4. Joanne Brackeen. This is Ancient Dynasty. Got Joe Henderson on sax on this. Absolutely awesome, and she is such an underrated piano player. All of her stuff is great. And the guys at the shop, they have a good collection of her records, and so I'm hoping a few more pop up. This is really, really good. This is from 1980, Warner Brothers label, I believe. Yeah, Tappan Zee Records via Warner Brothers. You can grab this in your dollar bins too. Next record, a friend of mine gave this to me, and I guess he wasn't into the fusion stuff. I'm not quite into too much fusion, but this is a really good one. The Joe Farrell Quartet on CTI from 1970, right when all that really got going. You've got Chick Corea on piano, Jack DeSarnette on drums, Dave Holland on bass, and the wonderful John McLaughlin on guitar. Yeah, this is pretty good right here. And so the next records I'll show are from the convention. And so the first booth I always go to, I usually find at least one record from them, and of course I did again. This is the Lee Morgan Quintet, Take 12. It's an OJC reissue. Been looking for this record for quite a long time in any form, so I was really stoked to grab this for a really good price. Got Lee Morgan, of course, on trumpet, Clifford Jordan on tenor, Barry Harris on piano, Bob Crenshaw on bass, and Louis Hayes on drums. A lot of the guys in the VC, I mean, they recommend this record right up there with all his Blue Notes, so definitely pick this up. Next booth I went to at the convention, was pretty stoked to find this, and then talk the seller down $10. Charlie Parker Memorial on Savoy. This was sealed. I've since broke the seal and played this, and I mean, it's Charlie Parker tunes from 44 to 48 with Miles Davis on trumpet. It's really just Charlie taking over on every track in it, which is just fine. It's fantastic. I was worried about storage warp on this one. It was sealed real tight in the corner. You can see it's still a little bit pulled back there, but no, record played just fine. Really stoked to add this to the collection. Don't have much of Charlie Parker's stuff, since most of it goes for a good coin. Next record at the convention I found is I really love this guy on piano. This is the Hal Galper Quintet. This is a live performance from New Orleans in '78. This is called Speak with a Single Voice. And you've got the Brecker brothers on this. Anything I see of Hal Galper's that I don't have, I'm going to grab. Love this stuff. And then the last box marked jazz at the convention that I looked through, and the last record in that box was this one here. This is Lloyd McNeil with Marshall Hawkins, Lloyd on flute, Marshall on bass. This is Tanner Sweet. This is the 1969 original press, numbered. And yeah, this is number 778 of 1000. Pretty rare record. Mine's got a little bit of a, I guess, a coffee stain along the edge on the front and back, but the cover's still all intact, in great condition on its own. The record is VG Plus. Beautiful, beautiful record. And I guess the reissue came out maybe a year or so ago. And that's going for a decent amount already. Really stoked to find this. And I paid very little for this record. I mean, retardedly low price. So I was really stoked. Pretty much ran out of the room after paying for it. Got right out of there. The next record is a bit of a grail. This is an absolutely gorgeous record. This is Don Cherry, Complete Communion on Blue Note. It's an original stereo pressing, I believe from '66. And I just love Don Cherry's tone on this. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous record. Very, very stoked to have got this for a really good price. Next record, very, very happy to finally see this reissued. This is Sun Ra, and this is God is More Than Love Can Ever Be. It's been renamed for the last track on this record, and originally Days of Happiness was the original release title. Late 70s Sun Ra. This is just an amazing record. Highly recommend this one. All the local shops should have this in now. It's on Cosmic Myth Records. The original artwork has a couple of these figures on it, and yeah, beautiful Sun Ra right here. And the last record I'm going to show, picked up last night. We've got some antique malls in the area that have now really kind of infused themselves with records. I think they've felt the wave of the vinyl resurgence, and that's just fine by me. And so there's a large booth at this place in Charlotte called Sleepy Poet. And I guess the guy is an airline pilot, and wherever he flies, he buys up as many records as he can and brings them back and stocks them in this antique mall. Got a nice booth set up, and found this gem for $12. Freddie Hubbard, The Night of the Cookers, live at Club La Marcle. This is absolutely a killer Blue Note. This is an original press, the Microgroove. I believe this is from '65. This is volume 1 of 2 volumes, so I've still got to find volume 2. But Freddie Hubbard and Lee Morgan on side 1 on this are at war, just going to war, and it is our reward. Just this is up there. It's a live performance. This is up there with some of my favorite Blue Notes now. Now that I've really given this a good listen, so I was really stoked to find this on the high end. These on Discogs, I think I saw like 800 delivered from overseas. Yeah, I got a little bit of issue with the cover. I don't care. Really stoked to add that to the collection. So that's everything I've got today. Hope everybody's doing well. Really appreciated the shout out from Teddy. Yeah, really appreciate putting it out there for my friends in Ghost Trees, the free jazz group from here in Charlotte. Yeah, they're working hard, and they've played some really good gigs. Heck, they opened for Lou Barlow here, who was doing an acoustic set at our local shop, Lunchbox Records, which is right here on my shirt. And yeah, so they're getting a lot more exposure now, and yeah, really appreciate it. And I hope everybody's doing well, and we'll see you next time. Peace.